Well, it's Sunday afternoon, and I can tell I'm feeling better because I feel like I had to get up and do something today, besides just sit around the house. We watched church this morning because Dwayne still isn't moving enough to really move all the way into Turner and all the way out with that knee. That's a lot of moving around and then sitting and all that. So fabulous service today. So come on, God. So today, Sunday, I felt like I'm ready to cook a meal. So I got me a little bit of music playing in the background, and today I tried to get organized, you guys. So I'm gonna not take a whole lot of time. I've laid out all the stuff that I'm gonna put on my food, so you'll be able to zoom in. Okay, now you know, of course, what do I have? I got my Johnnies, got some olive oil, I got my seasoning pepper, I got my kosher salt, got some garlic powder, I have some rice vinegar, I have a balsamic vinaigrette and another, it's like a fig balsamic vinaigrette, really good. And then some teriyaki sauce. I got my 2 skillets. I'm gonna put some potatoes in here with some onion and some garlic and cook that down, kind of like roasted potatoes, pan roasted potatoes, where they get that crisp on them, absolutely. I'm gonna do my lamb steaks. I'm gonna season those up in just a second. I'm going to cut my potatoes, like I said, put them over here. I've got some carrots, the colorful carrots that, let me get the camera moving. The colorful carrots, I'm gonna glaze these and then put them in the oven and bake them. And then the Brussels sprouts, I'm going to glaze them, put them in the oven. Then I also have some green beans over there, and I think I'm just gonna blanch those in some water and steam them. So that's gonna be our Sunday dinner today. So what am I gonna start with? I'm gonna start with, I think, my potatoes. I've washed them already, so all I'm gonna let you see me do is I'm gonna turn my skillets on, and I'm gonna put some butter in the bottom of the skillet for my potatoes. You guys remember me, Mr. B. Okay, Mr. B. Now, you know, in the house, all I ever talk about is like, we need some butter. We don't want no margarine. We don't want the fake stuff. We want butter. So that's what I'm messing with, my butter. So I'm gonna melt this butter down, and I'm gonna cut my potatoes. Now these are the mixed potatoes, you know, where you have the medley with the little small ones. They cook better when you do them like this. So I'm cutting them in half, and these are just gonna cook in the skillet. And you can cut them as big or small as you want. The smaller you cut them, the faster they cook. So it just depends on how much of a hurry you're in. If you're not in a hurry, you don't have to cut them as small. Totally up to you. I'm gonna turn my oven on to 350. And turn the light on because that's where I'm gonna cook my carrots and my Brussels sprouts. So we'll get that preheating. This won't take long at all. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday. It is beautiful outside here in Kennesaw today. I think it's 80 something degrees, supposed to be like 82. Oh my God. Just gorgeous. So no complaints whatsoever. I'm gonna do this in snippets too, so that my videos don't end up so long where they won't upload. That keeps seeming to be my problem, where I forget that, you know, depending on what platform you're on, there's certain time constraints to how long your videos can be. I'm always forgetting that. So again, I'm learning, I'm trying to get better. But today, at least I did prep all of my stuff before I'm getting started, so that you wouldn't see me running over to the sink, washing food and patting this and doing all of that. Now I pretty much have everything ready just to go in the pans that they're gonna go in and cook it. So it's gonna make it a whole lot easier for you to watch and see me do this. And again, you taste to your liking. finished with that. I'm going to put that back there for now. And the one thing I did forget was my table salt, because potatoes are never, I don't like to use kosher salt for potatoes. I don't know, I can't tell you what that is. But I always like to just use regular table salt. Table salt, and you know me, my seasoning pepper. I'm gonna let that cook down for now. And as it cooks down, I will later add in the onion. And like I said, I've already chopped, kind of ripped apart the onion, sliced it, torn apart. And I'm going to, I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Pampered Chef, but they have a garlic press. So it puts it in those little fine pieces where you aren't really biting into hunks of garlic or you taste the garlic, but you ain't biting into the garlic. So if you have never had a garlic press, I haven't bought Pampered Chef in years. This is stuff that I bought years ago and still have all of my Pampered Chef utensils and baking dishes and all of that. It's fabulous stuff. It really doesn't wear. So there's my potatoes. I have that started. Now I'm going to take my carrots, and first thing I'm going to do is spray my pan down with some Pam. Do that. If you don't want your potatoes to stick all to the bottom of the doggone pan, that's a headache. Now I'm going to put the potatoes in here, and I think I'm going to leave them whole. I don't know. I'm going to leave them whole today. Sometimes I slice them in half. I'm going to move that so you can see what I'm doing. So today I'm going to leave my potatoes whole and just kind of line them up in here. I'm going to get a little bit of my olive oil. And pour over the potatoes, get them all wet. I'm going to take some seasoning pepper. So come on down. You are supposed to be following me. Follow me. There we go. So I'm going to take a little bit of rice vinegar and put it here. It's going to give it a little bit of a zing. I'm going to take a little bit of the seasoning pepper. I'm going to take a little bit of this Texas Figalicious balsamic vinegar. We bought this at a hotel that we stayed at when we went to San Antonio last summer. And it looked good, and I bought it. That's kind of how I get a lot of the stuff that I get. It's like, oh, that looks interesting. Let me try that. And I buy it. And it actually has been very good on the food that I put it on. So, and then this glaze I'm going to put on here. And then I'm just going to mix that up with my hand. There we go. That's all mixed up. And then I'm going to turn around and do the same thing. Oh, you know what I forgot? You already know. I forgot to spray my dish here from the Brussels sprouts. So you don't want them to stick. I'm going to take those and put in there. And I think I'm going to take the Brussels sprouts and I'm going to cut them in half. Just so they can spread a little bit further. And they'll cook a little bit better. And I'm hoping you guys can see what I'm doing. I always have to remember to move containers because I forget that you can't always see what I'm doing. So, trying to remember to do that. Move things out of the way that block your view so you can tell exactly what I'm doing. And I'm just cutting these down the middle. Just to thin them out some. So now with that, I'm going to take a little bit of oil and put it in here. And I'm not going to put the rice vinegar on here. And I'm going to put a different glaze on top of this. I have my black cherry balsamic vinegar. That's what I'm going to put on this. I kind of like this one. And that's all I'm really going to put on here. That black cherry. And I'm done with that. And I'm going to take, of course, a little bit of seasoning pepper, and I'm going to grab some table salt. And of course, I'm going to put a little bit of table salt on my carrots, because everything tastes better with salt. And now that I have that, I'm going to wash my hands. And so you see, there's my camera again. It keeps forgetting to follow me. Follow me! And so now I'm going to take my Brussels sprouts and my carrots. I'm going to put these in the oven. And those. And I just realized I put my oven on. This did not start. There it goes. I don't know what just happened there, but now it's on. Now, I'm going to stir my potatoes a little. And when they get about halfway tender, that's when I'm going to add the onion and the garlic. I don't want to add that yet because it'll just burn up because potatoes will have too much time to cook. So I'm going to put that. I'm going to put a lid on that. Find all the different lids for all my different pots. Nope, that's not the one. My lid to that, and put everything like that. And now I'm going to put my butter in my pan for my lamb. And I start off with about a half a cube, just to get the pan hot. And I'm going to move this out of your way. I'm going to put all of these things away so that they're not blocking your view. And now I need my kosher salt. Move my pan out of the way. I'm going to have my seasoning pepper, my kosher salt, and you want to make sure that you have it salted on all sides. So I'm going to start off with this, the seasoning pepper. And I don't really do Johnny's on, well, a little bit, and take just a little bit. Certain kind of meats you don't want to have too much salt because you want to taste the flavor of the meat. I'm going to turn that over. And I've already patted these dry. So I'm going to put some more kosher salt. And some more seasoning pepper. Just going to rub that on there like that. then I take the excess in the bottom of the pan and get those on the bottoms of the meat. So that you have all 4 sides really seasoned up. I'm going to take a little bit of some Worcestershire sauce. And put on there. And then of course I have my raw garlic. And I have my thyme. You always want to cook lamb with some thyme in the pan. Oh my God. You put that fresh thyme in there, drop that in the pan when it starts cooking with that butter and these big garlic cloves. See, I'm going to cut up the garlic when I get ready to put it in my potatoes, but for the garlic that goes in here, I'm just putting in some clumps of garlic because you really want just the flavor of the garlic. See, I'm putting big clumps and dropping it in here. In the pan. It's just going to go straight in the pan, just like that. Now I'm ready for the rest of my butter. And then of course you always need your basting spoon. So I am pretty much now just waiting for food to cook. Everything is seasoned up. Look at that pan. I'm going to let that sit for about another minute or so. I'm going to stir these potatoes one more time. Ooh, and see how goofy I was? Just put my hand on that hot skillet. Tripping. I'm going to take these onions and drop down in here. And these onions are going to really cook down. But that's going to give that some really good flavor. I'm going to take my lamb steaks and press them down in this hot butter. I'm going to take these big chunks of garlic and my thyme and drop it down in here. Turn that down just a little. And we're going to sear this on all sides. And when I say all sides, I mean all sides. I'm going to take my garlic and put it in the press and get it down, the little pieces down, and see how it just tiny little pieces with that flavor, that garlic gets in there, and it is so good, that raw garlic. And those potatoes, mix that around. Put a couple more pieces in here. And really this just depends on your tolerance for garlic. Raw garlic is actually very healthy for you. So I learned that a while ago. So you can put some raw garlic in food. Now again, I don't do well with the onions, but it gives it good flavor. And I cut the onion up. I leave the onion big enough where in the end I can pick the onion out And as long as I'm not literally biting into onions, just having the flavor in there doesn't really mess with me too bad. So I kind of do work around just to make it work. So I'm turning my potatoes down now. Put one last piece of garlic in there. I'm going to put this down on low and just kind of keep stirring these about every 5 minutes until they are as tender as I want them. Now I'm going to keep turning my lamb, get it browned on all 4 sides, and then I start my basting process. And you want to keep this skillet hot. You want to cook them to medium because when you overcook lamb, it's not good. But you cook it on medium too. That way, if you don't finish all your meat, I always try to cook meat where if I don't finish it when I come back to eat some later, when I reheat it, you ain't overcooked it when it gets in the reheat. So, you know, I'm going to add a little bit more thyme in here so really get that flavor in here. And guess what? I'm going to come back to you guys when dinner is ready. I'll show you what the completed meal looks like. And for now, Mama Fee out. Talk to you soon.